Oh, that was an incredible track by the Prodigy. I got away with the other one though, so I thought I'd try it. And I think I know you well enough, Microman, that you might well have checked the GitHub already. But if you haven't, you'll be in for a pleasant surprise. Ah, I've got it too big, the window. You have, yeah. I thought you might have. Yeah, so I'll quickly run it first. If you caught it, I've done a few uploads. The first one was the main bulk of it, but then I tweaked it a bit. So yeah, we've got. Do you know though, that is filling the screen. That we can't have it any smaller. Like that's the maximum amount of characters we could have down there. If we didn't want to, obviously we could fill the spaces up with a character. But you might have noticed it's actually getting health. Yours crashed here, did it? Really? I never actually had that problem myself. I can only imagine it's going into the wrong memory. I take it you cloned the entire project, but if you added it to yours, perhaps you didn't remember to change like this value here, maybe. Graphics, I had last changes from 9 hours ago. That sounds about right. Although they were done in quick succession. It was like in a sort of 40-minute spell before I went work. I uploaded the first one and then I realised, yeah, that's cool. That's what probably the problem is then. That's good. Yeah, I was on fire. I really didn't want to go to work because everything I was doing was working exactly how I wanted it to. You know, my mind was clear. I was going to create this debug files.asm, debug values, and start like printing the position on the screen for everyone to be able to read in the top left. Yo, Vulcan. 3 hour marathon. They're the best games though when they absorb you all your time. So yeah, how this works, and I need to tidy this code up. Tiled world here, I'm going to end up calling level manager. Okay, so this will look after the level. You can see that as like, you know, when you see tiled world, just think about it as the whole level manager. Handles when you go into a fight. It handles obviously the level when you're in the tiled world. And then you've got UI. And most of the fight stuff I'm going to put in here now. For example, this enemy HP here. That's just the foreplay, yeah, exactly. I'm normally like, when I get into a game, I can easily lose 8 hours. Easily. I haven't actually done that for quite a long time now, but I'm definitely a gamer. Yeah, so what we do here. Oh, before I show you that, in the NPCs, I've added to the table these 4 things. Exactly the same as the player: HP, magic power, XP, level. Get rid of that. Yeah, so then we create. I've got another set of bytes here to store. This is like the current enemy you're fighting. I know that feeling, Vulcan. I was quite tired out yesterday. It was quite a slow paced stream. Probably will be a little bit today as well, because well, it depends how it goes, doesn't it? But I can't really think of anything immediate that's going to be nice and quick to do on this game anymore. But basically, in my UI, I think we saw this yesterday where we just do this fight, you know, init is done once. I should really find a better way of doing that. I don't really like wasting a byte of memory to do that. But if you remember, it crashed when I tried to spring it from within that other loop. So I set it up so that it just knew that it was going into fight, and then it calls this every frame. That's why that has to do that, so it happens once. Then this was crucial, of course, to point it at the right bit of memory where the fonts are stored. And I'm actually pretty proud of this, what I wrote here. I've created display string and display numbers. So we can do either now, and it works on any, you could easily copy this into any project and get it working immediately. And here it is, I put it into tools. So HL is is the memory address where you want it to start. And it shouldn't say X, it's YX, like that. And then the message address. We've seen the string. We've used that successfully yesterday, and I think before. This one, I haven't commented it. This is the one I'm actually quite proud of. I smashed it out and it just worked. Do you remember at the very end of the stream, I was saying about taking it down by 100 and then 10. Turns out I was actually right, and I found this on a calculator website that has a Z80 Texas Instruments calculator enthusiasts, and I've borrowed it and I've adapted it so that it works with Emuk's plot tile. Yeah, it was quite complicated. I don't know how I managed it first go. But luckily, it was strange how I had that exact idea, didn't I? Just when I was bubbling around with ideas. I hadn't tried to write any code about it. But I never would have thought to load C with minus 100 here like this. I'm still like earlier today I had this figured out, but I've forgotten how it works. The great thing is you don't even need to really know how it works. Just the same as I don't really know how plot tile works very well. I know a little bit about how it works, but a tiny bit. Not enough to write my own. Font start has to actually be 1 before the font start. So I should have done font start -1 and then put font start as... Oh, font start should be a constant in here. Oops. In my tools, I've started to keep the constants like near the actual routines that they're for. This helps it be organised, I think. So anyway, let's not really dwell on how that works. I mean, long story short, it goes through and it finds out how many hundreds there are, how many tens, and how many ones, and prints the number with this offset, which obviously is the amount it needs to go forward in the font graphic memory to find the correct font. It pretty much is, yeah. Good evening, Moz. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, if we just accept that that works, because I wrote it earlier and I was feeling nice and awake. But it does what I just said basically. Finds out how many hundreds, finds out how many tens, finds out how many ones, and just goes doosh, doosh, doosh. It only handles an 8-bit number. I was going to write the 16-bit version. I had that in my head how to do it, but now I'm too confused for that. I'll be there all night doing that. So anyway, back into the UI. So we keep a copy of this. So it's stored. Ooh, wrong one. We store everybody's health and magic and all that here. So it's hard coded. So you know what position they are. You assign them a slot ID. That's how we can identify which enemy's which. Not only that, but that's how it's drawn. You need that for drawing it with the sprite hardware. But it comes in convenient right here because I wrote this function here, get enemy texts. That basically means get the values. That's what it should be called. And this loops through every enemy again. Can't remember what 0 it. Oh, that's just the end marker that I always use. Yeah, then we just check the current enemy. That's a slot. I haven't named them very well here. So when we get into a fight, we set this value with the current enemy's IX plus 6, which is the slot. I was busy, yeah. That's it. I was just rushing through it and it was all working. But the names were not great when I think about it. Like, it would have been worth mentioning the word slot in here, probably. Yeah, basically, if it isn't that slot, we just go to the next. It's really simple stuff that we've done millions of times. When we eventually find the one with the correct slot, we can set these values that I've created in the UI. So it's a copy. So we've got to remember afterwards, just like maybe you have a baddie that you can hurt and then run away and you come back and it's still hurt, you know. So you'd remember, you'd have to reassign these values when we end the fight. And that'll actually probably be done in the UI here, in the UI code. I mean, I've got to that point where I need some sprites again, really. I need to draw myself some. Because it's all well and good having these here. I mean, it's pretty much ready to start putting in some characters. And as you can see, he's got 30 HP. Well, I guess I need to come up with the fight mechanism now. And how are we actually going to do that? We'll go down to this guy. He's our easy guy. He's got 45 health, but he's only level 1. And his XP is only 1. But he has got a little bit of magic in him. I mean, we could go nuts with the AI on this. You know, you could have it where they're really clever, where they use their magic to heal themselves and stuff like that. But obviously, for now, we just want some basic stuff. You know. Eventually, I probably will start a different game project, one that's a bit more easy and fun. Something similar to the Space Taxi would be quite nice, wouldn't it? But this is quite fun as well. So we've successfully initiated a fight there. I'd say it's pretty much finished, other than tidying, you know, making it look nicer. But what happens when we're in the fight? Round in the corner. It is. It is. It is. I think I know what you mean there. It's getting too far in. It's starting to become like work, you know, when it gets this hard. You know what I mean? But I still do find it fun. For some reason, I get brain lock a lot when there's a lot of code like this. I'm trying to think. Like I said, we've just successfully initiated the fight, and in all of the different sort of files here, it knows, it checks, are you in a fight? So the update loop is now going to be calling fight. So I just need a way. Well, I guess buttons is the next thing. We need some buttons at the top there of the game to say what you want to do. I was hoping we'd be able to print smaller font. It's quite large and it doesn't allow us. They definitely are 8x8 because you can count them. There's 32 cells there. H is at 0 and the one on the far right is 32 or 31, I should say. So you can see that they are actually 8x8 tiles, but they don't even look square, to be honest. They look slightly rectangular, oblong or whatever. But anyway, yeah, we've done buttons before. If you remember that game where we had a shop, that was pretty much a button system. For now, just one-on-one micro, but we can do group as well eventually. I was thinking about that and just discussing it at the very end of the video last time. We've got all the player done like this, so obviously we can only have one player right now. But we could make a team, play a team, and it'd be very, very similar to this. It would be very similar. So it's definitely easily doable. And what I did when I made, because the UI was like, the NPC was just a one guy. I mean, NPC I could rename to enemy right now, but NPCs is a little bit more generic. Maybe you've got like Holly as an NPC. You could stick him in here, and just you would either know that slot 58 is Holly, or you could set a different byte to say yes, this is Holly or whatever. Yeah, quick and dirty, innit? I like it like that as well. But what I was saying was, we had it as just one NPC with all the data like I had for the player. Then I changed it to a table of them, and all I had to do was add these at the top. I didn't really change any of the code. There was a little few lines I had to change because we're using IX now. But then you'll notice I'm calling the singular ones, which we've already written. So you don't have to do a massive change or anything to add more. But this is a bit of a git. Here's the fight UI initialization. So that's the bottom half. So in the top half we want some sort of buttons. And I'm thinking on my feet completely. It's not like I get to plan this or anything. I've just come home and pretty much just turn this on, and so I'm thinking on my feet. But at the top there, what do we want? We want like fight, run, maybe heal. Let's just do fight or run for now, innit? So I'll call it fight here. That's why I'm tempted not to call it fight. Maybe hit or attack. I'll call it attack. By the way, these are offset. These are origin points. That's how I've started to do the UI now. I only specify the origin, and then I just add these accordingly to sort of create a table on the screen. So I have UI fight. buttons X. Let's just say 0 for now, who really cares? And we might be able to just reuse these actually, maybe, to space them out. I'm not sure which is tidier, to have all the constants together like that and then all the labels together. Probably is. I think it seems a bit pointless, some of the names I give them, but it does actually help you in the long run, like being really specific with names. Personal preference, yeah, it totally is, totally is. And to be honest, I'm not even sure which I prefer, so can't matter that much. Okay, so we got that. Now, when I wrote this text stuff and the whole table, that note that they're all the same. It didn't look good if it had like level like that, you know. So it could be alright for this though. We're not, because you don't need a number next to the word attack. So luckily we don't need to know how long the word attack is. We really just need to worry about how long the longest word is, so that when we move all the buttons, you know, if we want another column of buttons. There's something to be able to think about when you're trying to code this stuff. Yeah, so row height will be fine. And we'll put, it's going to have to always be 1 at least, because we want the asterisk as the sort of selector. Put 1 there as well. In fact, let's make that 2. Okay, so we want to display the string. And as you can see, it needs HL and DE to be loaded up with stuff. You copy what's happened below there. Note that Y went into H. DE is the message, so obviously that's the word you want to print. DFM doesn't matter. Yeah, and then same again. Probably a space just to know you're on the next button. So, like I say, I've already made one called row height. I'll probably be able to reuse that. Although we might just want to do +1 there, especially if we have more. We'll probably end up with quite a lot of buttons. Like, of course, we're not even printing any numbers here, so it is just doing a print string. But that's not right. Yeah, I mean, it should be that straightforward. And there we go. Again, that's higher than I thought, lower than I thought it was going to be, and that's because I keep forgetting the border. This is painting to the I think layer 2, which doesn't have the border. You know, it doesn't cover the border, stops at the border. So them constants, you need to bear that in mind. We probably do want 0 for both of them. Oh, we've got to have at least 1 on that. And I'll probably have, let's not use row height. Let's just do UI button height. Extended break, be back. No worries, man. No worries. Hasn't left us a great deal of space. It'd be. Oh, look what's happened to them numbers below as well. Interesting. I don't think this will fix it, but I'm going to try anyway. No. I think I need to push and pop just one of the registers before I do the display string. Oh, I remember I have to pop DE, I think, around this plot tile. The dialogue. DE, yeah. I think I might fix it. I hope. Whoa! That broke it even more. Maybe just doing it here and here. Nope. Hmm. Seems to be reading the wrong bit of font. I'm just trying to work out how it's looking at the font. I think he did, Moz. Yeah. Oh, I always run into something problematic straight away. I'll just highlight that away again and just make sure I'm not going mad. But it's this display numbers that's actually doing it, the one I wrote today. I reckon it's something to do with BC, but I don't know. I think I was. Oh, look, they're still wrong. That's odd that. It was fine earlier. Put 255. Let's just put a number in there. That's the health. Whoa, 144. How did it manage to do 144? It was all working fine a minute ago. I guess I'm gonna try and just go back to how I had it. I think it is, Moz, yeah. Oh, have you hit have you hit the nail on the head there? I think you have. That's weird that it's got 144 there though. Where was it? I moved it. I moved this little bugger, didn't I? 144 would be 255 if you move the character along one. Okay, hi Mook. It was crazy, I had it working just a moment ago. And then I've obviously mashed it somewhere. I think I had that as 14. That's probably why, isn't it? Yeah. Well done, guys. I reckon you've got the answer. Hey, there we go. Well done, guys. I got halfway through doing that, didn't I? Because I was saying it should really be 13 if you were going to put where the font actually started. Then wherever that font start thing was, you had to put +1. -1. Oh dear. Oh well, whatever. That should work, shouldn't it? Phew. Alright, let's see if them labels work. Button labels. That's still pretty cool, doesn't it, Mod? I'm gonna have to figure out how to make smaller fonts if I can, somehow. Otherwise it's not ideal. Well, it's okay, I guess. It's not too bad, actually. When you cram it up together like that, it looks okay. We need a little asterisk next to that one we're gonna choose. It's a shame we haven't got more buttons, really. There'd be one for inventory. Let's make that now, sod it. Can't really think of a better word for inventory that's shorter. Maybe knapsack. Next can use 3 buttons. That's pretty cool. Yo, Derek, how are you doing, man? Oh, inventory hasn't shown up yet. Oh, of course it hasn't. Get myself confused. I just defined it and that was it. Defined the string. Just copy that. That's good, Emook. At the moment, I'm only supporting the keyboard here, but we can look at that another time for sure, supporting gamepads. That sounds awesome. It can probably support Atari joysticks then, because this Atari can support a Mega Drive pad. Yo, Derek, nice. Good lad. The Atari standard, awesome. Because actually, I remember back to my original Spectrum, which was the 128K, and I think that had a joystick. I've printed over the run. I think that had a joystick port that was the same as a Mega Drive pad, if I remember right. But I don't remember ever plugging them in together. So this is how I'm doing positioning on UI stuff now. I start with just one offset, and I use these to make it, and I've actually found that's a bit easier rather than making a constant for each type of button and that. There we go. So I want 3 more so I can move them over to the, and have 2 columns. Was it okay? Yeah, because I remember they looked the same, but that's all I can remember. What other buttons might there be? We've got attack, run, inventory. I mean, if you wanted to heal, you'd go into your inventory and use your object there. So we don't really need a heal button. Don't think we need any other buttons, do we? Let me have a quick screenshot of Final Fantasy and see what they have. Selecting a cancel. Okay. What, for supporting gamepads, you mean? Oh, of course, there'd be magic. Ah, there you go. Magic drink item. Let's do the same as them then. Drink! Yeah, we got Runaway. That was one of the first ones I thought of. Runaway. 1 a.m. Yeah, it soon comes round, doesn't it? Tap OP repeatedly. Should we make some game like that for fun? That would be quite easy. As long as someone draws the sprites, the game's got to be quite easy to code. Let's get all these in then. So let's change that to item as well. That will knacker the joystick. Probably knacker your wrists and thumbs and everything. We care more about the joystick there. Right, so this one will actually move over, so we want a button width. And the longest word attack plus an asterisk at the front and then one space, so 6, 7, 8 should be enough. No, I'm not as good as I used to be at mods either. Definitely not. I know we don't need the bracket, but I'm using it anyway. Sometimes I put a ×1 there just because I want to. So that's magic, and then we've got drink. Let's give that a look. Burn some calories. Good shout. Alright, I've got an error when I tried to compile that. I'm trying to use the old name inventory. Needs to be item. Okay, the two bunched together really. Oh, I didn't expect it. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Just want one more button really. I'm gonna add one in to make it look nicer. Of course, we can change the offset. This is what I was basically talking about a minute ago. If I just change that to 7, they've all moved over as 1. Try about 15 maybe. Yeah. Alright, it's looking a bit better. I'll put it at 19 and be done with it. Then I've got to add the asterisks in. Okay, that's pretty good. Don't actually think we need a 0 for that. Might be able to print it another way. Not sure yet. Maybe we do. Maybe we do just want to use that same routine. Not sure. And also, I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. Most of the time when I've written this code, it's a lot similar to this. I'd give each of these their own constant for height, position on Y, instead of this offset thing. And then I could just easily check if the height of the asterisk was the same height as whichever one of these, then call that routine. There's nothing stopping me making that constant, even though I've got it set up like this, but maybe there's a better way. Let's just get it drawing first, the asterisks. So unfortunately, it's not always going to be on the same X position or Y. It needs to have like variables for both. I'll use that offset and just put -1. Why not do it right up here? I'm sure there's a better way because I'm only printing one character here. I'm using a string routine for it. But wait. Oh, let's just do it anyway, yeah. Okay, so -1 on that. Same on that. See if it even works. Nice. Well, it doesn't look like an asterisk, but I do like the look of it. I've seen that in the font set as well. I know where that is. Rough. I've seen that before. So clearly, it's just not mapped up exactly the same. I think one of them's different on the Spectrum character set to the ASCII set, isn't it? So a couple of them. I mean, colon works. I used colon earlier. Pretty sure that would work. Although maybe not, because the way I map them with that offset is different in this part than what I was doing before. Yeah, the colon does work. I would like a magic drink as well. Just out of interest, just wonder what like that does. Nothing. So anyway, I think we got lucky there because the asterisk looks pretty goddamn cool as a bracket. That looks okay. And basically, I want to be able to move it now, don't I? Um, UI update here. It's not ideal the way I call UI init every frame. I wanted to try and get out of that, but when I tried to do the straight up init on the one time when it was happening, it crashed. So I just hacked that in and it's there now. Before I check that though, I could actually call UI fight update and create that down here. Put it at the bottom. And we're going to want to check the keys. And I think we might have to call that. I can't be sure. I mean, cool. Can't be sure that that's getting called now. Although I think it is, to be honest. I'm going to put that there. I don't think we need that. I think it's already happening in the player UI, player script. So yeah, I'm still unfortunately in the stage where I'm just hard coding key input stuff. And like I said earlier, I'm only supporting keyboard at this moment in time. But it's not something that seems impossible for me to support joypads. I don't think that'll be that hard, to be honest. And also, yo, thanks Moz. Cheers, my dude. Thank you very much for the bits. Yeah, and also redefining keys is not beyond the realms of possibility either. But you know, got a massive amount already to learn here. Let's stick with just hard coding the keys in. So that's of course down for me. Just want to move the selector down. And I've started to make it a theme, but I like to do this hard coding of directions and everything, and then later find a way to make it more generic once I know it works. Quite often it does have its advantages having each direction separate. I think I want to avoid doing jumps as well where I can. I think that can lead to a bother. As it happens, we don't need to push props there. Because it's only an either or thing, isn't it? It's not like the state where it's having to go through just one. This is just, is the S button pressed or not? Okay, now I've used the words up and down, but I'm also going to go left and right there with that. Or maybe not. No, that's not. I was thinking if you go down and you're at the bottom one, it could go to the next column. But maybe that's, again, another needless hassle. Just let them press right to go right. So what's the max it can be? It's Y, right? 0, I mean. It's basically this exact value. That meant to be Y, sorry. If it's equal to that, you can't go up any higher. If not, deck A. I've had problems before with deck and ink. Obviously, it was the way I was using it. But we'll see if that should work, shouldn't it? We need to make sure we call this. It's only happening one time, remember. And make this into a routine. Put a UI in front. It's going to want a different position every time, isn't it? I'm not even going to bother writing it cells because it's nearly always cells when you're dealing with the UI. Right, I'll pop that out there instead. And actually this, that should go there. You can't, I don't believe you can do a value into L like that, so we'll have to use A. Of course I could have just put these round the other way round. Why not just do that then? So now Y is before X. Although does it want to be the other way round? Because it wants it YX in HL. I think it might, you know. So I said Y was first, didn't I? But I've got a funny feeling that'll put Y into L. Yeah, you know what? Let's change that to X and put it back with X above. And if it's wrong, we'll have to try and remember to swap it back. I can test it now if it's wrong, can't I? Yeah, I just won't try and move it up or anything. We should still see that. I don't want to call it an asterisk selector. Yeah, there we go. Cool. It seems to be working. And just to test, if we put it the other way around, and then of course I'd have to change that to Y. Let's going to not like that, I don't think. No, it's down there by the other stuff at the bottom. Okay, that's good. I'm glad I got my head around how they work. It just loads into the low value first. The only bit that confuses you is it's called HL, yeah? So you think you're going to load HL with Y, and you think it's going to go into H. Do you know what I mean? That's what confuses me. You just got to remember it goes LH. If there's 2 bytes worth of data there. Well, there always will. It'll find something, I think. It'll just go to whatever's next. Alright, anyway, selector's drawn, and that's all we have to prod at it. In fact, now that can go into the routine, can't it? And where's move selector? Cool, that'll do it. So to move it down, pretty much the same. I'll put +3. I just couldn't be bothered to make a constant for that time. Still not going up and down. And that's because of what I said, and then I forgot about it. This needs to be called draw selector. Also, there's no return there for some reason. I just decided it didn't need it. This should do it now, I would have thought. The only thing is, we're not going to get a deleted. It's not going to delete the other one, is it? Just realised that. Yeah. Oh, and it crashed again. Okay. Must have been when it got to there, I reckon. Oh, this bloody thing again, maybe. I remember we managed to move the asterisks in that shop when we made that shop in Spiky in Space so easily. I believe we just print a space before we move. In that case, I believe this might be how I did it. I don't think you can do a constant for that. I'm not sure. It'd be bloody brilliant if you could. I don't think you can. I bet there is a value though. It's just a value at the end of the day, isn't it? I've got font start. I don't think we do need it. I don't know. I actually don't think we do, but I'm going to go for it anyway, just so I can copy what I've already done. That's something that could be really improved on if we can use constant, find out the exact value of what space is. Probably rewrite the plot tile, or not the plot tile, the display string. I think I wrote display char before, didn't I? As well as display string. Look at that, it even skips space. So that's not going to work. Plot tile will need to be. Don't think there's a space in the tile set. 32. Okay. I'm sure when I was practicing earlier, some of the stuff I printed was just a blank cell. So that's 13 right now. Let's just try 30, yeah. No blank cells there. Still crashes as well, but that's a different problem, I think, than what we're addressing right now. There must be a way of undrawing it. Maybe the space isn't the best way to go about it. Maybe there's a better way. Oh wait, we can just fill that byte with zeros, can't we? That particular area of memory. What you can do is load the font in. Oh, okay. Do you mean plus there? Before the ink bin, yeah? Oh, I see. Thanks, man. Cool. I don't know anything about this sort of stuff what you're showing me here. Like, without you. I've learned loads. The ink bin I'd used once before, but this stuff here mind boggled me before. I kind of get it now. So now, this will have to be 13 plus 32, yeah? To be back where we were. Nope. 32. They're 4-bit tiles, yeah? Is that why? Just plus 1. Sorry, man. I get you now. I'll see how well that does, just out of interest. When you start seeing glitches like that, it's enough to put you off. When you don't know what you're doing, you haven't got any help. That's enough to make you quit sometimes, isn't it? Oh, it's still doing it. Well, there's something else at work here, isn't there? It could be me, man. I've got a nasty habit of changing stuff and getting halfway through and forgetting. There we go. That is fixed actually by going back to how we were. Oh, did you say when you said 32? Did you mean hex? Oh, 64 decimal, yeah. Okay, thanks, man. Of course, the offset's wrong now for the font. Yeah. So you reckon just +1? We are using there too. Sorry, yeah. I did actually state that earlier, but I wasn't 100% sure in myself. But yeah, it doesn't have the border. That's how I can tell. Oh, funny how the values have come out correct there, but the words haven't. Hmm. 64. So are they 8-bit tiles? Okay. So 8 bits. And that's one tile. I get you. The plot. I wonder if we do it at the end instead. Because the plot tile here says this points at C. So it has to point there, I think. I had this at E before and it was breaking. But you would have thought that offset would have took care of that, wouldn't you? Print string A, B, C, D, F. Oh, it works now. Did you see that? It worked then. Strange. Oh, -1. Maybe that's why. Oh, that's really odd. Do you know what? There's something else going on there. Because the numbers were coming out right on one of them offsets. I don't think so. Started with 13, didn't I? I see it working again. I'll show you in a sec what I wrote. Because that's bound to be where the problem lies. So it works in that case, and now we've got this space defined after the font, which is blank. But yeah, I wrote this. Display string and display numbers. But it doesn't have another offset or nothing. It uses, do you remember it uses the different offset? Oh, that's why. That's why. So we have got two offsets, but they were both needed in my version. They were needed to be separate amounts. So we'll go back to +1 and put that back above. And hopefully it'll work now. That'd be great as well. Oh, no. I was going to say that would have been great because we wouldn't have needed that other bloody offset. It's up to 33. Yeah, 34 it was before. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And that's why it's not needed on the values, isn't it? Because I'm working with a direct value there rather than a character. Yeah, I get it. Hence why I put ASCII offset as the name of it. Well, I mean, it works if I put it underneath. Then I've just got to know how far to get to a space, haven't I? What would be the last character? I could just do that +1. Oh god, it stopped working. Okay. But if I try and go down, it breaks. Okay. When I think about it, we don't actually need any space defined with zeros. I could just put 64 zeros in a row, couldn't I? When I want to clear a cell. There must be a way of doing that. Yeah, however I find easiest. Well, to be fair, I don't think I'm going to find an easy solution. I did achieve it last time easily, but I'm guessing I used one of the ZX ROMs, like that built in. It was on 48K. This is pointless because it's going to ignore it in the routine we've got already. It ignores spaces. Or does it? Yeah, it does. It moves along 1 in the string, but it doesn't print anything. Right, I want to, if I can find the cell in memory using these values, then I just need the loop with 64 times, just put 0 into that memory space, yeah? It's not that simple though, is it? To do it with raw memory, you have to skip down lines and stuff like that. That's what the plot tile thing's for, really, isn't it? There's plot tile gone. I was nearly there. Oh, really? Okay. So, do you reckon DS640 above the ink bin, then Well, then let's get it drawing properly then. What we've already got. Now the font has one space at the start. Okay, yeah, I get that. So really, you'd think font start. Oh yeah, so it should be 12 perhaps. Oh, I've got you now. Yeah, you've helped me, man. I get you. I think it's in. Where did I put that offset? This one also needs to change, doesn't it? Although that's getting subbed. So we're subbing it. We want to sub one less though, I think. And then maybe my offset here should be one up. Font start. Yeah. So it's gone. I went two up. But obviously that's one from where I started. Try that then. Hey, well done. Well done. Thanks, man. It still crashes, of course, because there's some other reason for that. That's when I press down. Wait there. Go back. Got them grey tiles, but they look like they weren't getting drawn the whole way across the screen. Oh, okay, they are until you push down. Right, okay. ITO. Well, at least we're back there where we started. That font start's a crap name as well, isn't it? Because it's something to do with the displaying of numbers only. It's not to do with the characters that aren't numbers. Unfortunately, I'm still not able to draw. Oh wait. The space is it at 0? Hmm. Just keep it nice and simple with the names. Just delete the selector only. So HL is YX. You can use that. Is it that? Just 0 maybe. Right, so before we move it, that's where we do the final movement. Oops. Yeah, this is good. I might do it, but it's still going to crash, isn't it? Oh my god. Go to display string. Sorry, man. I didn't read that. Display string. That won't matter, will it, actually? Because that's a character in the set. I put 0. Okay, yeah. Luckily, I don't think anything has a space anyway in my game. Whoa. I think my code is quite problematic here, the way it's handling things slightly different each time, isn't it? I need to unify the approach. At least I know I don't need check keys. Just wonder if I've called delete selector. Where did I call draw it? There. And if I don't touch anything. Okay. So it looks like delete selectors somehow moved it back. It's so odd that. Hmm. Split this to the right. Perhaps I need to make a display char. Should D be 32? Maybe. I was thinking 0 would just be the very first thing. Would that be space? Okay. It's worth a try. Certainly worth a try. Hmm. My code's horrible here. I believed it would be 0 because it's pointing at this page and this memory address. Exploding madness, yeah. That's the code and the game. Because I might be being thick, but I never found that they related to that much to the ASCII set when I was doing the font start thing here to get to the numbers. I'll have a smoke. You'd be surprised how many times you get the answer just by staring at it while you're trying to make a smoke. They are in ASCII order, but the setting, like the offset, might be different, I guess. I don't know. The numbers, I might be getting confused because of the capital letters as well. Okay, I get you. If that's the case, then could we not? Where is it? Just looking at the character set. So basically, the letter A, let's write that instead of this colon. OX41. Now that I'm calling that in the print string, display string. It applies this offset to it. Okay. So we should see HPA. Yeah. The reason's something completely different. Yeah. For the crash. Sorry. Yeah. But I'm not. I'm still seeing the HPA. We see it. Where was I? It's something to do with delete selector and move selector. See, I haven't moved it now, and it's perfect. Yeah, exploding madness. Oh, I see a 0 there. It's definitely added some more of them curves at the brackets that weren't there before we'd done this. Let's try and fix why it's crashing then. Forget that for a moment. Because it could fix it, like you say. It was when I moved it down. So we'll get rid of delete selector for a second. Is it recursive? Is it being recursive? Am I calling it from within a thing that will call itself again? Do I draw selector? No. It just does that. Strange one. If I get rid of draw selector, so I can move down now and it's going to change this value, but never gets drawn again. But I bet it don't crash. Yeah, I was right. But pressing up crashes it. And that's because it calls this. Well, it shouldn't have done. It really shouldn't have. I don't believe so, Emook. I mean, I have got a way of checking if the keys are held, so it can only do it. If it was going up loads of times, shouldn't it return still when it gets to there, which is where it starts? Here. It's a good idea. I keep forgetting about breakpoint. It shouldn't be able to reach there, should it? And no, it doesn't. Oh, that's why. It's because I'd gone down, and now, of course, it can. Not so sure what I'm looking for in this particular one. That only happens if I move down first. This will be enough to cause the crash, I think. I like that graphic. Brake button after moving. Okay. So as soon as we move down, okay, you can see it down there. It's drawn both of them. Yeah, we do. Look, do you see that? I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but I can certainly see it. It's next to attack and run. Numpad enter. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's a good tip. That was one of the things that was annoying me about the debugging. That it didn't show up on stream. That's brilliant. Okay, so it definitely draws it at this stage. What's causing it to crash then? Yo, micro. I pressed F1 and that's when it went into that glitched mode. So there it is. It's drawn both of them. Press F1 and that happened. That's it. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly happens after that. So it manages that, exits the routine. It should just return. Even though this is called init, it's really like the update. Don't really need that. So all this stuff just only happens the one time when the fight begins. After that, it just keeps calling that and getting stuck there and returning to here. Call UI update. What's this? Reference not found. Yeah. It most certainly gets called every frame. Only do next reg in a print routine. Next reg 5617. This here. And put back 56. 56 what? Put back 56. Because that exact thing you said, I did try it actually. I tried to get that correct. I thought that might be it. Ages ago I tried that for something. But I didn't know which one to put. 56. 13 is that? 15. 14. Awesome. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Thanks, man. Maybe here then? Ah, do you know what? That's what it is. It's not actually getting set to that. Well, it's marginally better. But we weren't, when we call fight update here, I'm talking it through, the best type of debugging, love it. When we call this here, this never gets called, but then we try and still do this stuff here. So I've got to put it back to the other one anyway. I see what you've written. But I guess that might need that done there. It's worth trying it. Oh, in the print routine, I think I've got what you mean now. Oh my god, look what I've done now. Alright, so that's exactly back to where I found it. Print routine, I get you now. Display string. Only want the RAM with the tiles. Page name. Oh right, okay. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Right, so maybe even move this down right near to the plot tile bit. Is that what you're saying? And then the other one straight after it. Yeah. In that case, maybe. And forgive me if I'm being thick here, but perhaps I could put it in the top of this. And the bottom. It would turn out only there. Yeah, nice. And I think E is the same as 14, so I'm going to put that there to match up with how I've got the rest of them. And then I'll put in a comment. OE. Oh, nice. No crash, but I think it has actually crashed still. So I cannot move up and down now. But that was brilliant. That was a woohoo moment. I just had something else to try as well. Where was it? Oh yeah, we're going to try delete selector. Funny how it quick. Oh god, delete selector's still not good. Funny how on the Spectrum 48K I got this working so quick. I was surprised that day. Thought it'd be more like this. Can it can it do that? It compiled without warning. Oh, is that all it takes? And then proceed to see some crashing on the screen. So I've got a space on my Spectrum character sheet that says OX20. It's normally printing at the string address, like here. It is, yeah, I get you. Is that what I already had to start with? I can't even remember. My brain did think about that, but I kept quiet about it. It doesn't like deleting. Ah, you see what might be happening there? It's going forwards in a linear fashion instead of going down. And it could be a multiple key press thing, or before it crashes. Oh no, it does the same thing every time actually. UI space string. So you can use a constant for that. What would that be? That 32, yeah. Oh, I see. I see. I did do that earlier, didn't I? Is the 0 necessary? Maybe that was where I went wrong, innit? You do need to spec the 0. Cool, it's just tricky stuff. Thank you, man. Unfortunately, it was just one character, we might be able to do it without. I couldn't think of an easy way to do it without either. Oh, so it needs that, doesn't it? It needs a space. That's going to take 16 bits though, isn't it? No brackets. Okay, good. Sure, I've already had this. Oh, put in the memory address. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I get that it needs an address, yeah. Put a breakpoint in after the space. Okay, thank you. That's a good idea. That's a bloody good idea. Okay, so it's still there, and I pressed down already. Is it F7 or F8 I want to press? Oh. I put it too early, thank you. Good point, man. Very good point. Wow, I can be super thick sometimes. Well, hey, look at that. Turned into a little alien dude. Just printed it. Yeah, it's gone crazy, isn't it? It looks like a cool little bit of graphics. So it's printing something wrong. Yeah. So something in display string is not reacting with how I'm loading it up properly. It does look nice, that font. We've got loads of them in there as well. You can select, there's like about 6 that I really like. They're courtesy of eMOOC as well, but they are available on my GitHub here. If you're watching, the fonts are all there. Random memory, I see. I'm just wondering if I need to push pop something here. I would love to eMOOC, yeah. I would hate to ask you to do that, but I love it now you've offered it. Of course I'll push that. Let's call it Fonty Fun. I'll get you the link. I really appreciate you looking at that, mate. In the meanwhile, I'll look myself, but I'm doubtful to come up with the answer. Damn it, because I was so proud of myself writing that display numbers routine. And I thought everything was going to go swimmingly this evening, but not quite the case. Push DE. So it can get to the 0. One day I certainly will map up when I create my own 4-bit tile, like 8x8 fonts to use in the 16x16. However it's being done here, when I write it myself, I'll have a better understanding of how it's working, I think. Right now, the plot tile is kind of doing some magic for me, and therefore debugging it. Oh, this next reg I put in there, that shouldn't be. Oh no, we did that together, didn't we? Yeah. How am I doing sprites now? Um, I've got a few different ways, but the main thing is getting these attribute 2, 3, and 4. And if you want an anchored sprite, I think that's all the fourth one is about. Yes, attribute 4 you only need if you're using relative. It's got other bits and bobs. I'm definitely going to be looking at relative sprites really soon. I.e., you'd have a top left sprite, and then another one joined to it. Well, another 3. But yeah, so it was exactly like you described, Micro, with the X and the Y on the sprites. You only really worry about these, the small bytes. Yeah, and then you occasionally have to worry about the higher byte, don't you? And and then make sure everything has a slot. Like, of course, this is only on screen at once, so it's definitely not the best coding in the world. I've focused on being able to create these one for each sprite, if you know what I mean. But they don't share any screen space, so they could have had the same slot. But this made it more simple. But if I was going to make a different game, like where more action and less story and roaming, less adventure, you'd probably want to come up with a way of recycling all these all the time. But yeah, I'm basically adding more and more stuff into their table, and I'm finding it's the next is really fast because I put like 30 of these in as a test, and they all showed up perfectly. And drawing sprites, I'm using GIMP, and I'm still using Earthline. That's the point. I haven't been on the Discord. I was meant to look out for Emook's updated tool. Not that it matters because I've got that Earthland thing now to convert it. So I did lose one color when I did that, but I'm sure that's just something I did wrong. Let's take another look at what's going on here. It did sort of seem like it wasn't finding a zero, and it was just carrying on and on until it broke. But I guess that's just a complete guess, isn't it? Just try it there. It's going to crash straight away, I think. Oh, it didn't crash straight away, but I had that weird alien looking thing again. Well, I'm glad you Emu got me to move that next reg into the print routine, because it was kind of annoying having to remember to call that every time you want to do the UI. It's much better, like he says, to just do it in the actual routine that's using it, which is plot tiles. Hmm. I wonder what the hell I've done wrong here. That's the only problem when your project gets a little larger and you're still like learning. It can become overwhelming when you get stuck. It's very tempting to start afresh. No, it's a bit of an overreaction to start a fresh project, but it's very tempting because that feeling you get when it's all nice and clean, and then you code in the bare bones that you're used to doing and stuff, and it gets you back in the vibe. Wouldn't it be great though to make like an actual fully fledged game with a bit of dialogue and adventure? You don't see that many of them in retro, in indie dev. It's normally like action arcade style game or platformers. I'm tempted to make a platformer. Could basically use the space taxi um, style of code in there to the collision. It seemed to me that even if we deleted the, or if we removed the delete selector calls, it still did break, even though it didn't appear to. So what happens is I can move it down, and it looks like it's all working fine. Oh, did you? I'm still not knowing hardly anything about all the different layers. Let's stop it from letting. Okay, Mook. It, yeah, I'll wait to hear from you on that. Oh, I see. Display string is in tools, tools.asm, which is inside retro tools folder. Yeah, you got it, you got it. Very, very soon. I'm just getting into the vibe of being able to write like generic ones, like you guys, you more experienced guys write. I'm trying to differentiate from stuff that could go into a tools file, stuff like print string and stuff. I'm going to try and make a little library of functions. Because as you know, all you guys, I know you've watched the channel lots. I normally just tend to get gameplay functionality. I don't care about um, reusability, as it were. Basically functions. Yeah, like, I always say that I'm going to care about it, but I never actually do. I near enough always specify just for the situation I need it. But I'm definitely going to go into writing just like very generic for a while. Not online, not while I'm streaming. I'll just come on one day and there'll be some written. Yeah, the ASCII offset was like Emu says. It was just because in the character cell, in the Spectrum character set, you've got the ASCII character set. It's almost the same. And A is like hex 41. If you write the character A, it comes up with that value. But we needed less than that to get the same letter. That's why the offset was there. Yeah, but then we needed to reduce it by 34 to get it to match up. And I might be wrong because I ended up just hacking around. I was like, is it 40? Is it 30? And then everything in between until I found the right one. So it wasn't a case of like, oh yeah, that'll be 32, and then I wrote it. I just messed around until I found the right value. Yeah, yeah. It gets even more confusing because you try and look at the actual file, the artwork of the font, and it's really hard to make out what order it's in. It looks like it's almost chunked into like, well, it's hard to. I could probably show it real quick actually. Alright, I'll get it on the screen first. Yeah, very hard to see for you guys because I can't zoom in on that. But as you can see, it's quite hard. It looks like it's spread over two chunks. So it's not super easy to work out what's going on there, you see. So I think it is actually quite an advanced thing. It's not like super easy like some of this other stuff we do. Although it seems hard, like to make like a tiled map or a battle scene, it can be made easy. But this stuff here is actually quite hard. No, it's not your fault, Micro. It's a complete mess of code, this. But it was getting the job done, wasn't it? That's why it's bad to sort of delete it. Because it was definitely almost perfect, it was doing everything as we wanted it to. If I actually write myself a print char routine instead, and I'll just print a blank char to wherever I want it to be at the time, that might be the way forward here. Nice micro. Yeah. I won't write a print char routine yet because, knowing my luck, I'll get halfway through writing some crappy print char routine and emu will say, oh, it's on the stack. Just on cue there, emu. In Maine. Oh god, I forgot I put that DI. I hope that's not what's causing it. Wow, this is some advanced stuff. Let's see this in action then. So we load stack pointer with an address. Stack isn't big enough. Ah. Wait, haven't I got like a stacked top or does that not matter all that? Okay. Oh, then stack size here. I'll run it anyway. Wow, that sorted it out. I mean, it still went past where it should have, but it hasn't crashed. I never know if it's crashed or not now, because I can't. There's no way of me getting out of that just now. Oh, now we have a stack below the game code. Okay. What about if we change the size of the stack instead? Is that possible? Or is it better to do what you just did? That's bad. Okay. Yeah, you help me with that micro. I still pretty much don't understand that either. I've just used it and been happy to use it, you know. I get what you're saying there though. So we've got the space between that and that as a stack, is that right? At this moment? I see. So I didn't realise that I was using the stack up so much. I can see now you only get like 20 push pops. And each one's 2 or something. So you get 10. Okay. Awesome, man. So I need to try and reduce the push pops, I guess. Ah, maybe I could change some to jump. Jump relative. Okay. Just put a step below the game code, fair enough. Will it always be that address though, or if I add more code, do I have to reduce that? Okay. Um, would it be worth having a constant for it, maybe? Uh, so as long as it's below the game code, it's fine. Okay. So as long as it's below 8k. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Thank you. Okay, I'm with you. Because that's only 2 below that, of course. Okay, thanks, man. I understand. So I could have done that, couldn't I, to make it even more obvious? That's probably just me being dumb, thinking that makes it more obvious. Inside the mind of a noob, mate. You're getting now. You're getting inside the mind. Right, now I've got to stop it going. Let's do the held thing and stop you being able to hold it, because that's really annoying. So when I press W, it tries to go up. Well, let's do. I'm pretty sure I've already done held for W. So this is what I made earlier in true Blue Peter fashion. Oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't. So let's create that then. Yes, W should probably go up here. It's actually S I want to worry about anyway. S is, oh no, F's already. I might as well lay it out like I've got the rest laid out. Oh look, oh, X or A. That will save me space, won't it? Here's how we learn, man. Barbecue ribs. So, I remember last time, not that long ago, you had ribs. I remember you saying that before. It took ages, if I remember right. I love it. Mike's slow cooked ribs. 5 hours. Marinated. The luxury barbecue sauce. 5 hours sex. Oh, full English. I do love a good full English. There's one amazing cafe near me. £8.95, but it's the absolute best. So just do the S up here as well. I should make my own, but I haven't really got the facilities for it, to be honest. It'd just get nicked if I left anything in the fridge like that too long. And we just need S held here. I think we're finally good to go. So all them calls to the stack. I'm gonna have to like inline all my code, do you reckon? Where it can be. Because sometimes I call a routine from only one place, quite often. Am I even using the term inline correctly? Because that's something else I've wondered. It's fine now. Okay, nice. Because so now if it's held, it's only going to do it one time, basically. Hey, it's working, but it doesn't delete. And that's because I got rid of the delete. Fix a display message now. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, because it's done something funny now. It's only when I've done delete. If I change display string, then it's going to break all of this, isn't it? All the other stuff. Whoa, thanks, Micro. One of the most generous in the world. I love it, man. Thank you very much. I've been dying to do some gaming video soon, but I can never think of a game I want to play more than I want to do coding. Got a thing for prime numbers, that's cool. I'm too fit. You know what I'm like with numbers. I sometimes have a gift where it just all lands in place in my head and I understand it, but most of the time I don't. And I can tell there's something about them, but I can't think what it is. It's the same with prime numbers. Like they go on about how aliens would communicate with prime numbers, but my brain can't quite cope with the reason why. Is it just bullcrap or is it real? Would they even have to care about numbers? You only work with even numbers. Do you know what? That's probably next level kind of thinking, actually. It reduces the thought power by 2, doesn't it? By a factor of 2. Or a sledgehammer. I really do feel like taking a sledgehammer to this PC. I might do that, when I buy a new PC, I might record myself. That'll be my face reveal with me with a sledgehammer smashing this Dell Optiplex 7010. God, that'd be good satisfaction, I'm telling you. This is for the stack. You mother! Bah! Display string, you git! Delete the bloody string. What was it called? Selector. Right, why is delete not working? But all the others are. We haven't got a space in the character set, have we? So I wonder where 0 is now then. Was it 32? Go to display message, display string, yeah? Yeah. Is it because of this space thing? Really? Oh, and then do something different with the offset for that. It's not going to like that. And I uncommented 119 as well. Jump NZ. Oh my god, this is quite confusing. Oh, we got just punch on it. Really? Wow, my brain. Does that work? Ink A. Literally just like that, okay. I'll have to take a look at this after if it works. Ah, it doesn't appear to be even moving now. Wait there. I'll just I'll comment them out a sec in case that's it. Hmm. So now it just doesn't go up or down. Ah, wait, did I change the space? No, it's still space. Breakpoint time again. In the movement, maybe. Move down, draw selector. Let's try that. It's breakpoint time again. Well, it definitely reaches that this point. Oh, I'm in the wrong setting. I'm just moving it so I can see the code. F7. Or just one time. I was just seeing if it did it while I was in the other mode. Oh no, it's stuck here. Oh, that's clever, I see. So we're seeing where it's getting stuck. Sort of. I've changed something else. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. Oh, is it? Okay, I see. What did I change? Does it really? That's bloody interesting. Let me just see what I've changed to the GitHub there. I changed the held, so the keys. Is it definitely not that? It seems the only them changes there in tools are the ones you told me to do. UI. Strange. I haven't changed much, to be honest. Just look through all the changes. It was this, this, all the key caching code, and tools.asm. What is a debounce? I guess I can look that up. Breakpoint. Oh, I see. The debounce. I don't think that will affect anything now when I comment them out, because unless it's to do with the size of the calls, like adding even more size. And that was very fast. Run it now. Okay. Machine language. Hold F7. Watch the little window. Down first. Yep. Oh yeah. It's deleting it. Oh yeah. Did you see that? So it redraws it in the same space that it was already in, doesn't it? And that's probably exactly what we are doing. Wait, where the hell has it gone? There, down. It looked good, but why is it not moving down though? Draw selector. I had changed it. Yeah, I changed it and then called it. You'd think it'd draw it in a new position, wouldn't you? Hmm. Is it on your screen, Mook, going up and down, or is it just redrawing in the same spot? It is. I wonder what the hell I've done to it then. Back in that one, yeah. 254. Really? 267. Okay, let's have a look at this. I'll just try that then, down. Perfect. Perfect. Right, so let's try and figure out what happened there. It seems to be using A and not this value to position. Yeah, I will do. Thank you for your help very much. Nice one. But that's as if it cares about A. But the weird thing is I've set it up to use this value here, not A. Yeah, seems very odd. That just goes against what I thought I knew. So I'm glad you showed me that. I would never have found that, I don't think. That's the new position. Oh, hang on. I probably should have pushed and popped as well if I was going to do that. Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks good. Do you think I should have pushed popped? Because I'm trying to use A. That's exactly what I should have done, isn't it? Pop. At least stack is lower. Does that mean I have to point it to a different stack or something? Okay, that seemed to work but it went too fast. Let's get the held thing back in there because I'm pretty sure that works, that code. That was the obvious mistake though, wasn't it? I was trying to ink A and then load it into this one after I'd done this routine here, which must use A, like all routines do, almost. Wait, it works, but up for some reason goes down as well right now. Oh, that's good. Thank you very much for your help. So I think I will do the same there as well. I can't believe I didn't spot that. See, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier today, earlier in the stream. When I'm in the daytime, I wouldn't have made a mistake like that. I would have noticed to push pop. But I'm loading it straight in there. Yeah, nice. That's much better. Thank you so much for that. I've seen the error there. Nice. Oh, so it should be +2, shouldn't it? The maximum. Right, so that took way longer than I thought. I thought that would be much easier. But finally, we have a nice little button system working there now. And you can't just hold it. You have to press it each time. Whee! Let's be able to go right now. I mean, I could be really fancy and have it so you can still just press down and it goes over there, but I think I'll not do that. Yeah, man. It was good. It was good. Emook is a legend. Honestly. Yeah, you're brilliant, Emook. You're brilliant, man. I've had so much help from all you guys. Particularly Emook, of course, with the accelerated next crash course. Crash course is certainly a word I could associate with myself. Right, let's try and go right and left. Dave's crash course in Z80 Assembly. I haven't got a D held yet, have I? Let's not worry about it. Doesn't really matter when there's only two. UI fight buttons Y plus button width. That should do it. I certainly have, Mook. Yeah. Yesterday particularly was when you guys were showing me that step from the front. So you put the breakpoint at the top here, and then you can watch whatever A is or whatever. That was the most helpful thing for me, especially when it's HL and DE and all that you've got to worry about, you know. And then you can step through and watch it get populated with that data. And then I learned how the endian worked. You know, I could visually see the little endian. You can have your labels in the debugger. That would be super duper. You've also taught me a lot with how the stack works, because I knew how it worked, but I didn't realise like every call was adding to the stack. The main, yeah. Oh, I had that, didn't I? I had project.map. And then I put it into here as well. I have to put it in the run.bat. Got rid of it, haven't I? Hmm. I think it's something like map equals main.map with a dash in front of it. I think I did this before, but I didn't know how to use it. Yeah, I got it right. Look. Oh, map. No, it is main.map, isn't it? That's just a typo. I just got to finish off what I was writing there, and I make sure it's there. That's okay. Okay, so oh yeah, plot tiles. Do you know what? I saw them now. Now you showed me that. I've had them in there before, and I didn't know how I got them in there. And then I thought I dreamt it. Look at that there. Oh, that's just brilliant. The length of my routine name is going to kill the program. Yeah, that's brilliant, Emu. Thanks for that. I like having them there. Label switch. Sounds amazing. Let's see if we can get this moving right for a sec. Of course, we want it to move that whole amount in one. No, I mean it is important, but not definitely not important. Too important right now. You're right, because I probably won't remember if I learn too many things. We actually want it to either be one of two things here. It's either going to be that or that. We want to toggle between them two. I came up with a good little toggle the other day, little toggle routine. It wasn't quite like this though. But if it is equal to that, we want it to then equal that. Pretty sure you can't do that. I'm just pasting it there. Let's use a JR, sod it. It uses less data, doesn't it? XOR. Okay. Can you do that with... it's a constant though, that's the only thing. 20 XOR 14. I see. Oh, I see. That does sound good. That does sound very good. No, that sounds really good. I need to learn that. So let me try and implement that a sec. So I'll have this already set to, which it already is set to, and that should be X, not Y, by the way. I'll delete this in case someone's watching who's not so expert and they're thinking, what the hell is he writing that for? So that's what I was going to do. But instead, I'm going to, this is already set to be that. And I know that. So I'll use Emooks suggestion, which is to XOR 14. I'm not 100% sure where the 14 comes from, but it appears that that would always result in one or the other being. At the moment, it equals. Oh, what's 5 buttons? At the moment, it equals 18. So we wouldn't need that. And I guess we wouldn't call it move select to right, we'd just say move sideways. That's the only bit that confuses me. I don't really understand where the 14 comes from. I understand what XOR does. It flips the bits, except for if they're both 1, yeah? Something like that, anyway. Let me have a look. Oh, I might be able to hover over it, yeah. Logic heads. That's it. One or the other, but not both. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, this will be fun to work out what value we do need there. So it's 18 right now. So let's write that in binary. Or button width is 8. Why did I get 18 instead of 19? I've forgotten already. Oh yeah, because it is -1, because that's where the text starts. 18 plus 8 I think is going to be adequate. Yeah, so basically it's 18 here or 26. So I'm just going to do it for all of us. It's quite a fun little demonstration, this actually, isn't it, of how it all works. Oh, see, may not be possible to. So we need to find like a middleman value to XOR with. Ah, you see this one, 15. Only this bit we want to change, isn't it? XOR 8, yeah? Do you know, I was almost arrived on that. Yes, so just for those who are new and watching this, 8 would be our sort of, I don't know what you'd call that, like the middleman, the denominator or whatever. And the reason for that is the binary for that is this bit here, which is the one the only one we actually need to be able to flip. X or A and B. Find the value. Yeah, but we don't want 8. I see. I get you. Ah, I don't think I called the routine. No, I didn't. So sideways by update. This is where I would have loved. I've just copied and then gone proceeded and typed it. I would have loved in Unity or in C Sharp or even C++. Of course, you could do that. As far as I know, in assembly language, there's no way of doing that. Or is there? So now we is it an and or an or? That's an or. Is that a valid? Because that's or in Sharp and C++, I think, from memory. But I don't. That just means or, doesn't it? It's not the same thing as an or in assembly. I don't think. That would be an amazing step up if I could start doing stuff like that, though. Yeah, I'm happy to wait. Oh, I'm just going to try and compile it and see what it says. Oh my god, it literally compiles, runs. Oh, it doesn't move sideways though. And or not. Because they have and in C++, that's an and. That's certainly not going to work in this. Oh, it does compile though, that's very odd. No warnings, no nothing. For now, let's just not worry about that while we're waiting and just put it on its own and just do another one the same. Okay, I will do. Yeah, good plan. Strange it compiles without error, isn't it? But I guess it's not that clever. Maybe that's valid for like pre-compiler stuff or something. No, it doesn't reach it. Interesting. And of course it won't, because I'm thinking of using that as like an if. But it's actually loading it into A, won't it? Can't really load like it. It would have to be doing this behind the scenes, wouldn't it, to do that anyway? It'd have to load them both, because that's a memory address. Okay. Um, let's not worry about a breakpoint yet. That was weird. It started on the wrong side and then never went back there. So I, of course, have to remember push AF, delete selector, pop AF. But that's not going to fix that problem. It started on the right side, so it's getting XOR'd straight away. Oh, something's weird with that. Not only have we got to worry about the holding thing, the only way I can get around my head around that is to actually have doesn't need a move there. It's not down either, it's right and left. A held is what we need, and we have it. Good. I have to call it, even though it's right below it, because I need another one for the right. Damn, there's no D held. You git. I guess that doesn't exist yet, and I can't be bothered to make it exist. I'm just gonna A can just go sideways for now. It's going to XOR it anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a memory address. Can't see where it's gone to. Let's have another look with it on the screen a second. It's instantly gone now. No probs, Emu. Thanks a lot for your time, man. Really, really helpful. I've got that long time coming off work soon, so I'm gonna get loads of coding done then. Yeah, thanks again, man. That XOR logic made so much sense. I'm sure that would work. Selector X. Just to make it more obvious, I'll put that to be. Where is it? So we start at 18. I saw it there before if I'm not holding the button long enough. So I know it's in the right place to start with. Ah, it's gone again. Let's comment that out a second. See if it appears in the correct place. It does. Interesting. So it's at number 18 now. How many characters? I must be going one too many across, and then it's getting redrawn by some writing or something. 8 was right. So I wanted to go 8 characters forward, which just so happens to be XOR 8, but not because it's 8. It's because the difference between, where was it? If I put it at 26 now, which is 8 up from 18, yeah. There it is. Look, see, it's in the correct column. So that's strange. It's almost like it's not working. That's quite odd. I genuinely cannot see how that doesn't work. Because I get it completely how that exhaust is supposed to work. Oh, it came back for a second then. Ah, wait. It is still there. It just goes invisible and doesn't come back. Doesn't seem to move either. To the left or right. Right, so the first thing is to call draw selector there. I forgot about it, didn't I? I'm one of them idiots. I normally get things drawing every frame because I'm used to Unity and stuff where it doesn't matter. You can draw like a million bloody things every frame. But it makes more sense to only draw it after you move it. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. That bounce, it seems to be setting itself back automatically. I hope that's what you meant. Yeah, for some reason it's snapping back. It should be working. I don't get it now. That I really can't imagine why it's snapping. Oh, I do know. So if I hold A, it's quite a cool little feature. You have to hold A to get it to go over there. It was quite cool, but it's definitely wrong. For now, I guess get rid of that. It's still super quick. In fact, it's still springing back there. I'm sure of it. Yeah, it is. Look, I can hold it there. There's no way of making it rest on the right. Hmm. Wonder somewhere do I tell it to get drawn? Hmm. Well, you know what? If I get really stuck, this was basic. Probably is easy, isn't it? Slower though. If I get really stuck, I'm just going to hard code left and right to move to the specific spot I want it to be, you know. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'll comment that to there, and then I'll be able to see if it's getting set by something else. Oh, I still haven't got D held, have I? Oh no, it doesn't even matter. — 15-letter word. So this is the more dumb way of doing it. That involves more code, more space used up, more processor power, but less brain power. So basically, if it isn't already this, set it to that. That's all it's going to do. Now I'll do the same with left. In fact, I'll copy paste. Hopefully these are just temporary, because I really want to do that sideways one and get that working properly tomorrow. Less brains is equal good. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know I bang on about Unity, but just look at Unity. That's a testament to it. You can just drag and drop everything in there now if you really want it. Just download other people's characters, drag them in. Takes the fun out of it completely. But it's also fun in its own way. Because I made like a fully animated Bender character out of Futurama. It looked amazing. I created him myself in Maya. Then I ripped someone else's animation off some other character, pulled it into that. It just worked. It was amazing. I had him running around, grabbing ledges. Yeah, it was cool. But I still prefer this stuff. This is knowing exactly how the game is working. Oh my god, look at that. Oh yeah, I see why. It needs to be -1. Maya, yeah, it's really cool. I used to have a decent PC, a decent enough to run that, you know. I've done some courses, like I found on websites where you can download the whole thing. Oh, it's still not working. Oh, this is very odd. Got two of them now. Yeah, Maya, when you get the hang of it. At first, for ages, I couldn't get the hang of it. And then I watched a couple of really good tutorial videos. And the whole series it was. We made a car and stuff like that. It was bloody awesome. Right, I kind of get this now. Not deleting it. And yet again, I'm not calling draw either. Wait. That'd be funny. It'd be named that because you're constantly having moments. That's why it's done that. Imagine creating a language where everything was backwards. Like you had to write numbers backwards. You wanted to write 100, you had to write 001. It'd be good to write an encryption routine, wouldn't it? There's some real money in that. Nod no. Yeah. 100 centimeters, Bulgarian, isn't it? 7 centimeters kilometers. It can be a real pain, these font routines. Like, for some reason, they're not as easy to do as normal movement logic. It's because you can't see the sprites, they're all in one big sprite. Wait, finally I have it working. Perfect now. I mean, you can go to the blank one there, but I'm not too fussed about that just now. Whee! So the next thing to do would be when you press space, find out what button you're next to and call a routine based on that. Very easy. But this has been a very long vid. So not a good idea to start another thing just now, I don't think. But it's working perfectly now, so I'll push this to GitHub. Unfortunately, I've gone down to the dummy approach here of left and right being hard coded in. This XOR would have been beauty. Cheers, Micro. Yeah, definitely. I'll be here tomorrow. I always think that I'm going to do a long session on Sundays because I have a day off on Monday, but we'll see. But I'll definitely be here. I love coding all the time. It's getting hard on this game now. I guess I just need a bit of graphics to chuck in there now because it's getting to that stage where it's waiting for the graphics, or at least that, or I need to create a world, actually lay it out properly so that it looks like a world. Ribs in the slow cooker, get in, Michael. You'll enjoy them. Yeah, good night, man. Good night, everyone watching. See you tomorrow night.